Hello, this is Dana and welcome to my channel. Something else that may be of interest is, and I've talked about this maybe 2 years ago, is we own a farm in the next county over. And back during the early 80s, 1980s, some treasure hunters came from California with heavy equipment to dig on our property. They did sign a contract and have permission, and they were looking for the Beals treasure. That's another thing that there's a lot of information in the archives in our local library and the state library in Richmond, Virginia, about the Beals treasure. So if you're interested, you can probably go online because there have been several TV programs made about it. Another famous treasure hunter named Mel Fisher had his legal people contact us regarding looking over the property to look for the Beals treasure, but he was unwilling to sign the contract we require, and we do require a surety bond for our safety and theirs too. But we've looked on the property ourselves for what hints we have from the Beals treasure, and I still believe it's probably a legend, not a fact, but it has been a lot of fun going through the different encryptions, and there are 3 different encryptions that allegedly lead to the place where the treasure is buried. However, even if we were to find it, I wouldn't say so, because for a fact, as we understand, if it were so, the government would probably take possession of it, because allegedly some of the treasure came from things that are not legal, like payrolls being robbed and things like that. So, like I said, legend probably, but it's very interesting to read about. And Thomas Jefferson Beal was the name of the man who allegedly got this treasure and buried it. And we have actually been to the building where he stayed at and wrote some of his writings. It was called Beaufort's Tavern then, and it was named Liberty, Virginia then. It is called something else now, and I won't say what, but if you're interested, you can probably Google it, and I'll tell you what the name of the county is. We're a stakeholder in the county, so that's the reason I prefer not to disclose exactly about that either. I always worry about people doxing me for my address, and that's why I try to be extremely careful when I'm sharing this story time, because I don't want that trouble here at my house, and I don't think it's funny, and it is against the law, and someone has died because of it. So I hope that it never happens to us. Since the theme of my video today has been historical things, I'll bump it on up to more history of our area. We did have an amusement park called Lakeside Amusement Park in our locality, and it had a huge swimming pool and the amusement park. It was, I don't want to say ruined, but that's probably the most correct word I can think of right now, due to the flood of 1985 here in our area. The people that owned it at the time did rebuild it, but there was probably at the time the United States' biggest wooden roller coaster here. And there was a tragic accident prior to the park being fully opened, and they just decided after the accident that it was too much liability to now reopen it. Now there's a Kroger's and CVS and some other facilities that sit on the property. Thank you for listening and watching. That is all. This is part 2 and the end of the long story time that I had. I thank you for listening. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. And remember, we love you, and most of all, be kind to each other.